Hey, what's going on, guys? Cage here again. This time we're doing day 4. This is one of the chapters or days that it's not really fun. The whole area you're set in is actually annoying, very annoying. I mean, and they put you in narrow areas. These first two fights here are pretty annoying. This one here, don't start attacking at all. Wait until you destroy these guys, the guys with the jetpacks, and you can just shoot them directly. Now, this is the mistake I made. Don't do this, because there's more gonna spawn. I think I'm gonna get hit later. Now you can either just use the shuriken slide into steel on bone, or you can actually just do the combo I told you about back in day 2 and 3. Which is 4 squares and 1 triangle, and if you're on Xbox, 4 X's and then 1 Y. It usually starts to steel on bone with a noob. Now, the first fight here is not too bad, but once you get to the second fight, after you kill all these guys, I'll get into that one a little later. That one actually pissed me off a lot. And it took me a while actually to beat that one. Now you get a helicopter raining rockets at you. You can honestly, not sure if any of you guys know this, but if you have an impo already, you could just use your nimpo and it'll destroy the rocket. I mean, not the rocket, the helicopter, which is kind of funny. My first time through, I actually did this. It was pretty hilarious. But be careful with these guys, because they're just going to try to chase you and try to grab you pretty much every single time. And once that's out of the way, try to line them up. Once you line them up, release that wave, and they should be dead. And that's the first fight. The second fight is annoying, and I'm only saying this annoying because 1, it has the ninjas, and then 2, it has the beret guys. And both the ninjas. The normal double swords ninjas and the Scythe ninjas. They will interrupt you in steel on bone. I just got cartwheeled in the middle of a steel on bone chain, which is so unfair. Now, one thing I do here a little bit, I wouldn't really say wrong, but like, in a sense of chaining. This is pretty risky what I'm doing here, because now every one of them can actually suicide kill me. And that takes some massive damage. Now if they're chasing you and you want to finish them off, I would say use square, or if you're on Xbox, use X. And remember what I said in day 3. I believe it was day 3 or day 2, I'm not sure. But always, when you're in the air and you do a steel and bone, always land with an on-landing 360. 360 triangle or Y. This at least saves you. Now here I'm just trying to get points, but I get interrupted again, and it gets pretty old because it's so unfair. Now here it lags a little bit, but I remember my intro. I said I wasn't gonna spam the 360, but there are times like this where it's pretty cheap. Now here I'm gonna use my nimpo. I've got to this point so many times and I died afterwards, so I'm like, screw it. I just want to get through this part and just keep going. Stupid archer. The funny thing about the archers, and that asshole shoots a kunai in the air, interrupts me. But yeah, funny thing about the archers. Like, they'll be facing the opposite direction and they'll shoot a bow shot and it will come right at you. He'll pretty much shoot it backwards. But the Scythe UT is really good, because especially if you have them lined up like how I did. And there, and with an on landing, just for safety. I don't know how I got grabbed there. Yeah, it was unfair. On landing again. I mean, I just timed it bad that time, but And that should do it for this part. If you're having problems like I had, and also you can actually just do your Dragon Sword. You can shuriken, stun the normal ninjas, the ones with the green, and then just do a Flying Swallow. And or you can do an Asuna drop, spam it actually if you want. And once you get your Ninpo, you can just use it. And the berets, you already know how to deal with them. We've talked about that. Now here's the second time you fight the Regent. Same old thing, like you did in day 1. Use the same tactic. Just do running triangle, triangle, and when he's launched, hit square, and then throw shurikens with circle. And if you're on Xbox, running YY. When you launch him, hit X, and then you hit B to throw shurikens. Now, technically, I should have actually been able to launch him there, but watch out for this attack. There's times where he just does 1 dash, and there's times where he does 2, and there's very rarely, but he does this in multiplayer a lot. But he'll do 3 dashes. So watch out. You can usually either dodge it normally, or you can dodge it by jumping and then throwing shurikens, and then hit triangle or Y. If you master that technique that you just saw a little demo of, the one I made, the technique I made, it's very helpful. I mean, I just have trouble doing it in the single player, but in the multiplayer I could do it all day. It's pretty easy. This room is so horrible for fighting him. You don't have much room to fight him at all. It's by the time you realize he's coming after you, it's almost already too late. And you should be dead within probably 1 or 2 more of these launches, I believe. Now you should be doing that dash. Yeah. Yeah. I should end this here. Now I do die a lot in the first half or first fourth of the level. I apologize, but it was my greed for points that had me die this much. But towards the second half, I believe, or second or the 3/4 of the level afterwards, it's pretty much a clean run. The boss killed us first try, so it's not bad. Now the boss, when we get to that at the end of the video, I have an advanced tactic the way I killed it, and I have a demo of how to show you how I do it, and I'll explain exactly the move, how I use it, and it should make it easy for you. You just need to practice it a few times. Once you understand it, you should be good to go. Now here, after I killed this guy, there should have been one other guy. I don't know where he was. The time when I did this and I died, there was one other guy, but I don't understand. Now this room here, once the guys shoot the rockets and you're trying to open the door, make sure you have your Scythe before you go in this room, or at least before you go to the door, because it's pretty much 90% noobs and a few ghosts. Now get rid of those 2 guys first. Now just wait for them to come around. Now here I get lucky because when I did it, like when he turned around and then he like uppercutted his Scythe, it interrupted the ghost. More noobs spawn. Now that was just set up so perfectly. And this is payback. Now where that body went, I have no idea. The invisible guy, the ghost. But here, I figured I have an ultimate technique. They're all pretty close together, so I was like, why not use it? And there, I could have actually just shot him in the head and he could have died, but I was going for points. So you know me. If you've seen the past 3 videos, you know why. Now you'll notice how it did a faster obliteration. just a quick tip with the Scythe, try not to obliterate from the front, because it's just, if you're going for karma, if you're not, then it doesn't matter. Um, but even if you're not going for karma, it's pretty good to use, because it'll obliterate them fast. Now these guys, again, I don't understand why. You kill them, but you don't get points. It just makes no sense. You should be getting 300 for instant death, and then a 300 follow-up combo kill. But you're not. But anyway, not to worry about that anymore. Okay, so now we know here there's ghosts, and we know there's a rocket launcher at the end. I did a mistake here, and I was kind of risky, but then that's the name of my game. I always play risky. But what you want to do first, ignore these guys and actually take out the rocket launcher guy. There you go. Once that's done, I can deal with these guys the way you want. I got pretty lucky there. Now if I took on my Scythe, I would have had a better job at this, because I would have got more people. Now here I jump and shoot, I believe. Oh, not yet. Now there, what I should have done was, when I land, since I didn't get the steel and bone, I should have ended with an on landing. That way they wouldn't have been able to hurt me. Now remember when I said about the jump shurikens? It kind of magnets you to the guy, so it's pretty helpful. Now I have an impo. If I use my impo this wave, it would have probably been over, but again, I'm going for karma, so I'm trying to not use the impo as much as I can. Now here, this right here was pretty good actually, but if I got the Scythe, it would have been a lot easier. Now here, later I'm gonna have like 5 guys together, and I'd be able to get it easily, get them all chained together. You probably noticed I keep doing this. I keep doing the on landing obliteration. Now I obviously didn't want to finish that noob off with what's it called? Obliteration. I mean, it's gonna drop. Now I got lucky there. I got really lucky there, because lucky for me, the dragon sword was quicker than him, and I got him before he could have grabbed me. If he grabbed me, it would have probably been game over for sure. This fight right here with the bridge I just completed right here, this is actually one of the tougher fights, and there's actually well, the acid pit, a lot of people say is hard, but it's honestly one of the easier fights. And once I show you how I do it, you should be fine. I believe after yeah, this fight right here, I did a few times. This coming one where you walk inside and then the scientist pees in his pants. But it's not hard. It's pretty simple. The dragon sword is just, it's like the momentum. Once you get into it, it's pretty awesome how fast you can cancel out of stuff, and it's pretty cool. I mean, and this is why I like the dragon sword a lot, is because the speed it has is just amazing. Yeah, I think the claws might be faster, but I really prefer the dragon sword. It's so much fun to use. Yeah, there you go again. Now you know why I hate those assholes, because that's what they always do good. They interrupt you. Now here I got lucky, I actually launched the guy I wanted to launch. Since the other guy was so kind to interrupt me, I said, why not give his friend a little gift Steel on Bone. Luckily for me, this guy was an idiot. Now here, I should have went to obliterate that body, but I said no because this guy's priority. Now here I can obliterate, but I didn't get the 300 points. And I believe I have understood why I don't get the 300 points. I think if you move more than one dash and jump, you lose it, which is stupid, but yeah. Now here, again, risky. This is what I do. Take these guys out like this, the same tactic. The second guy, because I know there's one more beret, and I know there's one rocket launcher guy, so take the beret out over here. I mean, it just feels great doing that. Now here I'm going to take my sweet time. Technically, I honestly could have just shot him with my bow, but this is greedy me, so if you're greedy like me, then follow as I do. Remember, now here I don't know why I couldn't obliterate him, but whatever. Now take your scythe out. Don't even think twice, just take that one out. And there's Hiroseki saying hi, huh? Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is trying to gather them up. This way I can chain them all. I don't chain them all, but I do chain most of them, so it's not bad. You mashing at that square button. If you're on Xbox, mash at that X button. Now here I hit triangle accidentally. I could have chained this guy too. Okay, now you're going to see the same combo rinsed and repeated over and over again. There's two types of mutants here. There's the snakes and then there's the brutes. The snakes are obviously easier to kill. What do I do? Square, triangle, square, square, and then end it with an on-landing 360. That kills them. That automatically kills them. Now the brutes, they take a little longer to kill. Probably double the amount of launches. It's safe this way, and then always end with triangle there because you can't chain any of these big guys. Now you see, you're gonna have to launch the brutes at least twice. Now here, you see how fast it kills it? Now when you get your ultimate technique, take out your dragon sword or claws. Recommended to be dragon sword because it has bigger reaches. Now you can aim the ultimate technique, that is if you can keep up with it, but it's not too bad. But if you could try to take out the brutes, that would be a lot better. And you do know if you kill, I don't know how many, a set amount of enemies. Now here that should have been on landing, but apparently the game didn't think so. Now I'm gonna have like 3 brutes here. Once she starts talking, just run away. Don't even bother fighting, because the ground's gonna break and then you're gonna fall down. Now this is the fight that a lot of people have trouble on, and I don't know why. It's not even hard. I mean, if you're not going for karma, you'll have an impo to use. It'll make it easier. Now here, I will say this: use the on landing more here because you have a lot of enemies here, and I think when you kill about 5 enemies, this is when you get your ultimate technique. And the ultimate technique, save it for the Reaper, so you can kill it instantly. You don't have to deal with it. Same way. Square, triangle, square, 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 and then land, do an on landing, and it instant kills them. If you're on Xbox, X, Y, X, 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 on landing Y. It'll kill the snake instantly. Now see, I got my ultimate technique, and now I'm like, I have to go kill this Reaper, because this is the threat right now, so you want to take it out first. Once you take it out, now here I got lucky actually, because, and I hit square instead of triangle, or if your Xbox, X instead of Y. But yeah, be careful with that, because if you don't finish him off quickly, he'll get back up, and you have to inflict some more damage on him before you can kill him again. Now I have, I believe, a few more. Now one other thing I mentioned, I believe, but I want to state it again, just so you guys know. The on-landing is not a strong move. Now if people think that it is a strong move, they'll think otherwise. But what it's good for is it really generates an impulse really quickly. Now here I'm done. We just gotta climb up before the acid rises. Now that was it. I mean, it's not tough. I mean, just stick with what I told you, and you should be fine. I mean, it's pretty much learning how. If you know how to kill these enemies, you should be fine. And then just be wise with your ultimate technique and save it for the Reaper, because why deal with it when you can just instantly kill it? Now you could kill it with the Scythe, but just for security wise, I wouldn't really recommend it. I'm not saying the Scythe is bad, because you see in this playthrough I've already used it a lot, but I'm just saying the Scythe sometimes, even if you're up close and you shoot the ultimate technique or use it, I mean, it'll miss sometimes. At least the Dragon Sword, you have more than one swing. You have at least 3 swings, and in the later days after day 4, you have after this day, you have your ultimate technique gets up to 5 attacks. But yeah, more on that on the next day. But yeah, this is the next fight. Some people tend to go up. Now here's just chain it like I did with the other one. Some people go up and spawn the other guys. I do not advise you to do that. Do exactly what I'm doing here. It's much easier. Kill these, because if you don't kill these and you go on top, you're gonna spawn mutants, the brutes. You're gonna spawn the brutes, and dealing with the brutes right now is not really a good thing. Kill these so there'll be less traffic down here. This area is not really that good, so you need to be wise here. Now technically here you can do this, and I've actually done this. When you jump like that, I was trying to do an on-landing, because you can actually land and do an on-landing, and you should be safe. Now I think I'm gonna get grabbed once or twice here, because the on-landing didn't work. Now, for those of you who don't want to fight this like, I don't want to say fight this like a man, but for those of you who don't want to fight this like legitly like I am right here, there's another way you can do this. If you go on the top, on top up there, and just take out your bow and spam them to death. I remember my first run on Master Ninja, that's what I did. And don't feel bad doing that. The game cheats. It's about time you can give it a piece of its medicine. This should be, I believe, the last guy. This should be, yeah, that should do it. Okay, now that's probably the quote-unquote hardest part. At least in my opinion. I did die here a few times, but I think after this right here, I don't think I die after this. I think the rest of the game is a pretty clean run. The boss I killed on my first try. Once you master the technique, I'll show you and explain it later, the advanced technique. You should be pretty good with the boss. It's really not hard. The boss itself is not hard, just stupid and lame. Now you'll notice something. I can actually keep launching them. Like I can continue the combo with squares or Xbox. If you're on Xbox, it's X. But because the Scythe is so much bigger than the Dragon Sword and the claws, and I haven't used the claws much anyway, so. But just remember earlier when I launched the beret, I can only get like maybe 1 or 2 hits, and then it'll drop because I get too high up. But the Scythe, for some odd reason, is huge, and the way it launches, the way you attack when you're in the air, it has it where you can actually keep going. Now here, same technique. Take your Scythe out. There's gonna be a couple of those naked guys. These things. Use them as a source. Not the way I did right there, but I'll show you in a little bit. Use them as a source to chain into the brutes or the snakes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get grabbed. Probably now. Yeah. Because I was trying to do an on landing, but it didn't work. And he just did a normal 360. Now another thing you can do, like when I did my first run, I kind of lamed it out. You can just run away and just spam your bow. It'll take a while, but it can be done. You know, you keep watching me throw shurikens. And shurikens, again, I'm using shurikens just so I can stay close to the specific enemy I'm targeting. I don't know what happened there, but I'll take it. Now here, everything just stops because the loading is so amazing in this game. And again, when you get your ultimate technique, unless you have them all lined up and behind you or in front of you or whatever, to use your Scythe. But again, I don't want to risk that. Here's what I'm talking about chaining. You can use them as a source for Steel on Bone because they're weak, and the Scythe has big range, so you couldn't probably use it. You can use that to your advantage. Now there I wasn't trying to do a flying swallow, but because if you're on the wall and you hit triangle or Y, he'll do a flying swallow. I was trying to do an on landing so I could be safe. Now here there's a little demo of the bow. But again, I'm not going to be doing that for this run. Okay, now there's the other guy. Now before, I didn't want to waste my ultimate technique because the ultimate technique can go to this guy, the naked guy. So I figured, let me just use him as a source now, and then use the ultimate technique with the Dragon Sword. Chain and then chain. That should do it, I believe, for this room. Once that's done, make your way into the next room. Keep your Scythe on because you're gonna have some more brutes and some of the naked guys there, so you can use them as a source. Now these bigger guys, again, as I mentioned, anytime you're prompted with a quick time event, just hit it. Hit the button they prompt you with, which is always going to be triangle or Y. Reason being is, even if you hit square, first off, square for them takes a long time to chain, and second of all, you can't chain it. I mean, square takes a long time to register. Triangle usually breaks it off instantly. Or Y. But yeah, I mean, it should be the last couple of guys or one guy left. And then you get your save. I believe it's... that move I just did right there, I'll explain that later. That's the advanced move I'll be using, but I have a tutorial part for that, so don't worry about it. I got you guys covered. Okay, so Tweedledee is dead. Now let's go and save. Okay, getting close to the end of this day. Now, this next room, be careful. I have a few tips for you guys. Not this one. Right after you get off the elevator. But before I get into that, okay, you're gonna walk out here, and you obviously know you're gonna get grabbed. So what I would do is, while the cutscene is still going, keep buffering the analog stick, and then hit square. And if you're on Xbox, hit X. The reason being is the game knows you're doing that motion. So by the time the cutscene's over, you would have already broke off instinct like I did, and I didn't get hit. Now, one thing I did here wrong, I would have highly advised to take out the rocket launcher first. Now here again, risky points. That's cage for you guys. Now there, I was trying to obliterate that guy, but the game didn't want me to. Now I don't get anything for this guy, and I get damage. So instead of points, I got free damage for them, so they should be happy. Now here, I know there's gonna be the ghosts, so I took out my dragon sword since that's the weapon I'm most comfortable using against them. Now you got your ultimate technique now. There's two places I would advise you using it, but obviously this is what I'm gonna do. Now if you kill these guys, you're gonna get Alchemists after these guys. I got lucky here and I managed to get them all. If I took the Scythe, I would have easily got them all. Okay, so if you're gonna use it here, again, there's a couple of things I want to tell you guys. By this time you should have an impo. So that's up to you. So you can use either, if you're low in health, you can use your Nimpo, and then you can gain it back. I mean, honestly, I could have used a Nimpo, but I know I can kill these guys without a problem, and they're nothing called challenging. So for two things, I didn't want to use my ultimate technique because my personal opinion against the Alchemist, ultimate technique is wasteful, and I can use it a lot better for a Reaper. And a Reaper's not hard. He's just an annoyance, so he's an annoyance, so I was like, why not just get rid of him easily, instantly? So I'm saving it for him. Now here I'm just toying with this guy like I always have been. Usually the last guy I just toy around with, so I can get him bloody and then get a steel on bone. And once you kill this Alchemist, there should be, I think, 4 noobs, and then the Reaper. But the Reaper actually spawns at the same time. And here I'm trying to do wind path so I can do, you guessed it, steel on bone. Now here, I believe I do my dragon sword. Yeah, there's only 2 guys. So what you do, if they're chasing like this, dodge into them so you can bump them. And then you can do that. Because if you dodge, here's the Reaper. Now if you dodge like away and try to hit square to start the steel and bone, likelihood one of them is going to grab you. See how I interrupted him again? Same thing. Again, I didn't get my points. Now here my ultimate technique disappears, but it only disappears, and so that's why I switched to my Scythe. But it only disappears until you get this guy broken from that. So now I know I have my ultimate technique, so I'm gonna use it. Instant kill. I mean, why not? Okay, once he's dead, I mean, you still have your Nimpo if you haven't used it, but I'm obviously not gonna use it. Once you get New Villa. I mean, you get a lot of these noobs, and you're gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna change so many of them here. It's ridiculous. I mean, like every enemy, I believe, I chained in this room that's alive, which is hilarious. So this whole entire wave, I've chained it in just one steel and bone. Now here I'm standing still because I'm trying to get my dragon sword out for faster obliteration, but I'm not going to get any points because the game is so lenient. Now here's the glitch. Okay, so now I should have an ultimate technique here. So I'm going to kill that guy and do an on-landing charge. But you'll notice something. The rocket launcher guy disappeared. Okay, something you might have known or might not know, but when you kill an enemy, and like say if you did an Azuna drop, or if you did a steel and bone and they're bloody, limping, walking away like that, that means if you use an ultimate technique, all those enemies disappear. Same thing with the claw ninjas or the any ninja that's been steel and bone, lost an arm or anything. They'll disappear if you use an ultimate technique. Okay, and here's the lame part. But we should be getting to the tutorial real soon. And I'll explain that later. Yeah, I did actually die here, and I honestly don't know how. I was holding on L1 and meshing square, but somehow something happened and I managed to die. But as long as I killed the boss in my first try, I guess that made up for it. But yeah. Like, and I'm surprised on all the last part, right after you kill the boss, you know you have to chase out those 3 gates before they close. Usually I die there, and for some odd reason this run I didn't. And same with the Crash Bandicoot run from the Dino. I usually die there, and I did die. Here, just hold on L1 and just mash square. Okay, so we're closing on the tutorial, so it shouldn't be too long. Probably another few seconds. Now, sorry about the pausing here. I had to probably get a drink or something. Yeah, we should be getting to the tutorial right now. Okay, so instead of the cutscene, I kind of hit the skip and then just cropped out a little bit of it and then deleted it. But here's the tutorial. Now the move I'm gonna do, this is a pretty advanced move, and I'm actually gonna have the whole video slowed down after this. But if you have the Scythe DLC, I would say try it in training mode. If not, if you don't have it, then just do it in story mode. Just practice when you kill an enemy. But pretty much what it is you run, and when you're running, you hold down triangle for a little bit, and then you release, and then once you release the triangle, he'll do the second thrust. Now you see how it goes. It's like run, charge, thrust, second thrust. If you're at Xbox, just swap the triangles with Y. But yeah, this move is pretty powerful. You know, you can actually loop Doku with this, but that's a different story. But yeah, run, hold triangle, release. Just practice it a few times and you should be able to get it. It's really not too bad. I do screw up, I believe, a couple of times in the video or so, and I actually get punished and grabbed for it, but I end up beating the boss, so that's all that counts. So yeah, so for this boss, for me personally, my threat is the snake arms, the poison claw. I don't like that form, but the normal hands like this, and then the big brute hands, those are pretty easy for me. But yeah, I mean, pretty much this boss, it's usually you want her to do an attack, and once her attack's over, you do your specific attack. Now I would not recommend doing more than 3 attacks. Now there's that same move. It does stun her, so that's another good thing. Now you will have to do, I believe, 3 repetitions. Like, see, you do it 3 times, and I think 3.5 times, and you'll break off her arm. That's how powerful this move is. Now, if you're not comfortable doing this, you can do a couple of things. You can do either square triangle with the scythe after the moves or whatever. So you already broke off her arm. But yeah, or you can actually use the dragon sword if you want. You could do square triangle. And if you're on Xbox, XYY. Or you could do running square, or running XX if you're on Xbox. Now there I screwed up. Now that's the square triangle, XXY. And then remember, now you probably already noticed me doing this. And remember I talked about this in day 3. But you can do shuriken cancel. See how it canceled out of it? Because if I don't cancel out of it, that move has the recovery frames. A long recovery frames, and I'll get damage for it. But you just see how devastating. Now this room, you'll have to cut off her arms 3 times for her to break off and to go to the other room. Okay, now this one's pretty easy. I'd probably say stay a medium difference. And when she does that move, and you're close to her, dodge towards her. And this is what many players do and make a big mistake about, is they dodge away. If you dodge away, you're gonna get hit most of the time. And this move, when she does it like this, just back off. If you want to be risky, which I wasn't in that form, you could have just, see how I dodged towards her? You can just do a couple attacks and then run away, but I wouldn't advise attacking. So that should do it for this first part. But you see how fast I killed her? I mean, it didn't really take me even a minute. Now you obviously know once you get to the middle here, she's going to do an attack, so you have to dodge it. Now I did take that risk. But I know this boss pretty well, and I fought her enough times that if I know her distance and I know everything about it. See how I dodged towards her? You see how devastatingly strong the Scythe is. I mean, I didn't really hit her much, and I've already broke off her arm. Now, me personally, I'm always begging, because it's random what form she switches to, like what type of arms or whatever. And I'm always hoping for either this form or the big bulky brute arms. Now, I wouldn't recommend attacking after that attack. I mean, it's doable, but I just personally, I'm not comfortable attacking after that. Again, if you're not comfortable using my method, this advanced method, you could always do with the previous methods I mentioned. So you dodge towards her, like that. Now, how do you know when she's close to death? Well, you already know she's already half dead because she's got blood stains on her. But once she starts regenerating her arms really quickly, like after maybe 1 or 2 attacks, that's really when you know she's almost dead. And when that happens, you'll know she's close to death. And and this boss is different. This is a special boss. And I'm not saying that to be a good thing. That's actually a stupid thing. But this boss is actually one of those that after you kill it, it attaches onto you. So once you kill it, it's not done with you. So now it's close to death. And I'm actually going to get grabbed in a little bit. Yeah, this is the form I hate. I don't like this form. And I'm like, hurry up, do an attack already. If you're far away, she'll probably always do that attack. Okay, so now I know she's really close to death, so I'm gonna prepare every time I break off her arms or whatever. And you're obviously gonna have to finish it off. Now here I mess up and I get punished, but that's all good. I still end up beating her. No, what you want to do is once you kill her again, like break off her arms, you want to get ready and buffer the analog stick and square, and if you're on Xbox, analog stick and X. Right here. She's gonna attach. And see how I shook her off instantly? Because I buffered it before the animation. And what buffering is pretty much inputting the animation before it actually happens. I mean, now we're pretty much at the end of the day. I mean, the escape is pretty much it. If you've beaten her, you pretty much have the chapter done, or the day done. I mean, really, there's not much to it after this. Now, day 5, which is after this, is actually a pretty short chapter, day or whatever. I managed to complete it in only 28 minutes, which is my record, and I was actually surprised by it. So that one's going to be a short one. But this one here, I tend to stick to the left. I got hit by that guy, but here, I'm actually going to get grabbed. Kill him. But yeah, I mean, if you found this video very helpful, the tutorial or the tips and everything, yeah, please stay tuned. There's more coming, and subscribe. And there's my score at the end, and this is Cage, and we'll see you in day 5. It's going to be a short day, but hope you'd enjoy it. Peace out, guys.